Hi, this is Cynthia. Thank you for joining me today. Today I want to show you a quick and simple way to make a journal cover by simply using a cereal box of some type. Any kind of cereal box will do. You're just looking for something that's a little thicker than cardstock. So as long as you have a little bit of pasteboard as such, and cereal boxes tend to be something that we have on hand. You'll need a front and a back, and you'll need a spine. The spine width will depend on how many signatures you want to put in your journal. I am going to be creating 3 signatures, and so just putting those here and holding them, that's about, I don't measure, so I'm not going to give you the measurements for this, but that's what I'm kind of looking at there and how I kind of gauge what I'm doing. Now, so that you'll know why I'm making my journal in this dimension, or even though I'm not measuring, that you can kind of see. I tend to make journals using regular copy size paper in the States. So that's where I'm starting. And that's why I have the height that I have here. And then when I fold, you can see that that's going to be coming from the center of my journal out. Then I will have about the right size there. And that's how I came up with my dimensions. Now, you can change these dimensions any way you want to. You can do half sizes and fold your papers over and do travel size notebooks that are much thinner here. But this is how I came up with what I do, the size that I do have. And then I simply put material. This is just a heavy canvasy kind of material that I have put, I've just simply cut and torn so that it would be straight all the way around. And I have made 2 sheets that way because I'm gonna do an inside. I don't always use the same inside as I do the outside, but because this material is not too terribly thick, I think that it's going to work for me inside and out, and at least for the purpose of making this journal video, that you'll be able to see what I'm doing here and the thought of my madness. Excuse me. I typically use tacky glue for this one, and it's an Aleene's. There are other glues out there, but just so that you see my process and how simple I make it, I want to make sure that I have this entire sheet. Even though I'm going to sew this when I finish, I want to make sure that I have this entire sheet covered with glue. And this glue does not readily dry too quickly, so you're going to be fine. And then I would actually leave this overnight, probably at least a good 12 hours to completely dry before I actually begin the sewing. And now I'm just going to see if I can't scatter some there. I have brought out with me a paintbrush so that I can spread this glue around a little bit easier. And you can see, you just simply want to get all the way out to the edges. And get a good layer of glue down. And is it okay that I see a little bit through there? Absolutely it is. This is for the purpose of holding this together as much as possible. Again, I will be sewing, so that will help. I'm trading out a glue bottle for one that I've had upside down in a container. Just makes it flow more easily. And you can see that I'm just adding a little more there. I also have this journal cover laid out so that you can see that there's a little bit of room. I am doing that on purpose. I want these not to meet too easily or up side by side, because I want my journal to be able to close and open easily. So as I put the glue on the front and the back, that's what I'm going to attempt to do, is to leave the space of about, I wish I was good at measurement, maybe a couple of millimeters, not even a quarter of an inch, maybe an 1/8 of an inch, we will say. There, I believe, is about how much room I want between those pasteboards. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. I hope everybody's getting excited about the new year and that it holds lots of promises for you and that you're ready to start your own crafting as well. Were you able to get any snow for Christmas? Or maybe you didn't want snow. I don't know. Maybe you're off in a nice warm place. It's been rather cold here. At the time of my taping this, we're getting ready in the next couple of days to face single digits, which even for Tennessee is very cold. I lived on one side of the Appalachian Mountains, and now I've moved to another side. The weather's about the same. We're about the same latitude and longitude. Okay, now I think that's covered fairly well there for me to be able to go ahead and put down my fabric right on top. I think you can see there I have it done the other side. We'll flip this in just a moment. I want to make sure I have about 1/8 of an inch in between there. And I'm just going to come in and lay this fabric right on top. And again, the purpose of this is to hold it into place until I'm ready to sew. And then for the lifetime of the journal, it will just help keep up with you and keep the integrity of the journal, the booklet together. And that was so easy. Now let me flip it over and I'll show you what we've actually done. And you can see there's about 1/8 of an inch up between the spine and the front and the back. And that's what my intention was. And it is glued down. It's fairly solid. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this next side. I just think it helps to see the entire process of putting this journal cover together. In the next video, I will sew the signatures in, and then we will begin to decorate it. Looking at a book, it would seem that it would take an awful lot to be able to create a journal, but you can tell with what I'm doing that it's very simple. A little pasteboard, a little glue, a little fabric. When I first began, I went into my mom's closet and took out some old dresses and some old, what did she have? Jackets of some kind, like a suit jacket. And I would cut those apart, and that's how I made my first journals. And they were true junk journals. I know we're making junk journals now, but they were true junk journals. I walked all over the house looking for all kinds of papers to try to put in my journal. And now, because of people like Wendy and Gail, Tracy, Rachel, I think some of us are moving a little bit away from that. It's still a junk journal, but maybe my method's getting a little bit better. I don't know. And it all depends on what you like. I still see some ladies holding true to a junk journal, a true junk journal, where all kinds of papers are used and left to be old and worn, tattered, lots of tearing in what they do, a lot of weathering of the pages, the discoloration and being left in that way. And now you can see I've also, on this next side of my box, glued, and here is the top part. It's okay if the fabrics do not meet exactly. They can always be trimmed down. You can see that they're a little raveled here. I did that because I tore the material to get a straighter edge. And in the next video, I'm going to close this video out, but in the next video, after this is dried, I will go around and sew this part, and you'll be able to see now how this comes together. You can sort of see on the inside, there's that little spine there, and it's going to maneuver. The mechanics of this will be great because we left that little 1/8 of an inch space in between the front cover, and that's what it's going to look like when we're finished sewing it. So join me in the next video. Have a great day. Thank you.